welcome back to Doctor Who, Season 2, Episode 10, Love and Monsters. The greatest Doctor Who episode ever made. Would be quite the exaggeration, in my opinion, but still, it's a very good one. I am a fan of Love and Monsters. I am joined, once again, by my brother Caden.
Oh.
Who I don't tell what I'm gonna do for the intros, but I still hope that they get the message. And today they didn't. I was expecting some sort of reaction to bounce off, but no, we just had an awkward pause. Today, yes, as I said, we're doing Love and Monsters. Wow, my time bar is not centered on the on stream. Maybe I should work on that instead of playing like the Hoodle game. Before streams.
Fix the time bar.
Fix that. Actually, Doctor Who's like 70%. Yeah, that's what we do before the stream. But no, you have done your best to avoid this, Caden. You moved literally as far as you could without leaving the country. I checked. Alaska and Hawaii would have been closer. Yeah, you then came back to not do it 1 week. You then caused, like, a whole hurricane. You took out a whole state's internet just to not watch Love and Monsters. But now you're here.
And here I am, yeah.
This, of course, this is an episode about a Doctor Who fan club, right?
Right.
And that's the love, right? It's like they love Doctor Who. They're such a big fan of Doctor Who. But like they're a Doctor Who fan club in the Doctor Who universe, so they like run into monsters and stuff, and that's Love and Monsters. Not laughing at that summary. No,
like 3 weeks to workshop.
That's okay. The joke's not going to be funny for another like 30, 40 minutes, but then you're going to find it hilarious.
Okay.
This episode, I've said before, you probably know, is a controversial episode. I think it was a lot more controversial when it came out. That's a little before my time. That is almost before your time as, like, being alive. But now I think the fandom's kind of settled on a much more average, but I still see a lot of divergence. I saw someone just today who cited Love and Monsters as the weakest episode of Season 2, a very weak season. And they're wrong. That is Fear Her, which I still like better than most people, but, you know. Yeah. Where, as I said, I've loved it. We could very much have the possibility to disagree here. This could be our first big of Middle Who, I guess. Our big Middle Who disagreement. Yeah. That's what I've been calling seasons 9th through 14th Doctor. 14? Yeah, 14's Middle Who. It's got Classic Who and New Who, and this is Middle Who.
Oh, yeah.
But if you don't know what we're doing, because it's been like almost a month, we're basically doing an audio commentary track live. So we're going to ramble a little bit so people have a time to set up. But let's see if I remember this. It's for legal reasons I can't just stream an episode of Doctor Who, so it is a bring your own video. Speaking of which, I should mute system output. Bring your own video, bring your own audio. I will be streaming a blurry version in the background to help with sync and keep this time bar on screen. But in a little bit, we are going to do a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Then everyone hits play on go, and we'll be all synced. I'll give you a heads up. This is a little bit of a problem for Doctor Who because there are, generally speaking, 2 versions of Doctor Who available. There's the original UK broadcast and what we're going to call the American version. Don't worry about it. I could spend like 2 hours on this. We will be watching the American version because I get these off American Blu-rays I own, which is about 4%, I think, faster or slower. I don't remember. I should write this down. Than the original UK version. Otherwise, there is no difference. I believe most streaming services seem to have the American version. Some used to have it and have transitioned over. For some reason, German Amazon has the American version. So if German Amazon has the American version, I'm willing to bet that a lot of the world has the American version.
That was one of the best. That was a really good one.
I've only done this like 30 times.
And this one, finally getting the hang of it. That was smooth, and every point was hit.
To get there, that's the only problem. Do you ever think people binge this and they have to listen to that every like hour? You still do it every week, but
I like to imagine that.
yeah. Sometimes there are long intros like that. You just know you get a hang of. It's like, what's the? Is it whose line is it anyway? It's like the points don't matter or whatever. Where there's a big intro. I've never seen it either. What's the one where like welcome to the game show where the rules are made up and the points don't matter?
I think that is whose line.
Yeah, which isn't at all what I thought it was. It's like an improv show, right? I assumed it was like some sort of movie, TV quote quiz show. But
oh no, it's a fun one.
Yeah, no. It's like before stream, I told Caden how I had so many like topics to talk about. This isn't one of them. But it's like watching Sailor Moon, which I think I told you about, where Alex was a big fan, my wife, and you see like the magical girl pictures and stuff, and so there's like an image of what Sailor Moon is in your mind. Yeah. And then look, you're here watching Love and Monsters. Like, come on. There's a mixture of Sailor Moon in your head, and then when I started watching with Alex, because they want to, it's just like modern Tokyo. Well, it's like 90s Tokyo, but it's like I've been to these places. It's like not magic. It just takes place in Tokyo. Like, yeah. There's still magic stuff, but it's just modern day Tokyo. I'm like, this isn't what I thought it would be at all. But yeah, Matt, I think you've just been assassinated.
I'm alive.
That's a stream.
My coaster.
You had to get a Hitman because you didn't want to watch Love and Monsters. But hey, you remembered this episode and not the Slovene episode, so that's something.
Bits and pieces, yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Anything going on in the past 3 weeks?
Yeah, I've been busy enough to run away from Love and Monsters.
Yeah. You did a lap around the country casually.
In case anyone's curious to know if I died and said hurricane, everything's fine. Thanks for all the worries, dear viewer.
They did send you all the worries, but you didn't have internet, so you didn't get them. But I'm sure they did.
Life's good and well.
You came back to Spokane, didn't see me, didn't watch Invasion of the Dinosaurs. I couldn't help but notice. But yeah, I have got to fill up my water bottle, which is now empty again.
Roger.
So you need more sunflower talk.
I actually know exactly what I'll talk about with sunflower seeds.
I was going to tell you to explain why the frame rates are different in the British and UK, but using sunflowers. But if you have something prepared, you can do that as well.
Using sunflowers.
Yeah.
Perfect. Study enough. I think actually what I was about to say to all of you dear at home, now that I think about it, I said this last time because I had gotten myself ranch sunflower seeds, and I still have them because chips are so expensive. Potato chips are unreasonably expensive. It shouldn't be that way. So I was thinking, okay, sunflower seeds, I can eat on them, and I'll think I'm eating chips, and it'll satisfy the craving. So I was gonna let you know that I'm a sunflower seed person now, but pretty sure I did that last time actually, and I'm pretty sure I was eating sunflower seeds last stream. I just was sad about not having chips, so I would think about it. That was it.
Went upstairs to fill my water bottle, and my wife had like a yoga video on the TV, and they were doing yoga, but it was like a yoga video with someone in their living room, but they had like a mirror, just like a full body mirror, pointed at their butt. But it's like, I think it's so you can see the back of them and like the positions, you can get everything right. Mm-hmm. But it also just felt like the video was probably called like yoga workout parentheses with butt,
with butt. Featuring butt.
That's what you want. That's.
Right.
Yeah, we should probably get started like 10 minutes in. My wife. Yeah, I'm out of water because my wife's. We bought an air fryer because I thought that'd be good. But then my wife instantly learned how to make donuts, and now I'm gonna get diabetes, and I'm gonna die 20 years earlier.
You might.
I will, yeah. They already like baking treats, but they make donuts now. As I said before, we are going to do a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, everybody is going to hit play, and we're going to experience the greatest episode of Doctor Who ever made. Is it the best of this season? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it doesn't work for you. We'll talk a lot at the end about Love and Monsters, I assume. I took a break from Factorio to do this. That's how excited I am.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the new DLC,
Yeah, that's big.
All right, I'm going to do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Realizing I never tested, you could hear the audio.
I can.
That's good. And I did subtitles before the stream started, too.
Oh, like ahead on everything.
This episode is, it was rather unique. It kind of started what is now known as the Doctor Light and the Companion Light episodes. Usually you get them separately, but this one barely features the Doctor or Rose. And this was the first one, other than like a 1960s episode, that did that. And it was hugely successful, which is why they've done one like every year since. Yep. Although we are about to approach critique 1 right at the start of the episode. You get kind of 2 big critiques of this episode. One at the beginning and one at the end. And so as far as I'm aware, everything in between is flawless. But also, remember all the complaints about like how Doctor Who doesn't take itself seriously since Russell came back? All that sort of stuff. Just keep that in mind right now for the next, 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm excited for what's behind this door.
Yeah. It's like, look, I'll give it to you if you don't like that. But Doctor Who was like that under Russell before. Okay, maybe it's the middle. I don't remember. You'll have to keep in your head a bit longer. I got a bit premature there. I haven't seen the greatest episode of Doctor Who in a while. Watch me come out of this being like, actually, it's not that good.
And I think it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bold pitch, in the writing room. Like, for the first episode of, let's do a Doctor Who episode without the Doctor at all. But thematically, or, conceptually, that's pretty cool.
Well, it gives the actors a little bit of a break, too, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think that's the main reason they do it. But this was an extremely, bold experimental episode. This here is arguably, the boldest pitch the show's ever done. There's a found footage episode later on that might beat it, but it's like this or that. All right, here we go. Here's that bit. Now remember all the complaints again. Also, remember this alien, because he's going to come back in a weird way in a few seasons.
Oh.
Yeah. Just keep that in the back of your mind for next year. There we go.
There it is.
In this episode specifically, I don't really mind it so much. This right here, this scene sets a tone. No way you're gonna do the rest of this not knowing what you're in for, right? I bet Russell was so proud of himself for that one, though. You can see him with his little face. I need to show you an interview with this guy, because he's a very, big personality. And I can just see him, grinning as he writes a Scooby-Doo door scene. Does he have bullet holes in his wall?
It's got, cockroaches. He's like the guy from the first episode who ends up dying. Does this guy die in the audio dramas as well?
I don't know if this guy's in the audio dramas.
Man, they gotta kill him off.
You already don't like Elton. You want him dead. That there, I don't know the name of the actress, but Moaning Myrtle.
Huh. One of the few things I remember is what happens to her.
Oh, you remember complaint number 2. All right, we'll get there. We'll save that.
Alright.
Okay. Well, that's a bit disappointing. I just love a lot of the little, like, it's just supposed to be some random guy in the Doctor Who universe. And I love just, like, I tried the flap, but there's, 2 women living there. They're a bit... It's such, like, first video novice YouTuber vibes, which I just love. In 2006, so, like, you wouldn't have even gotten...
Yeah.
You would have had, like, some vlogs and stuff, but...
This is
nowhere
where
like
it came
today.
from.
Yeah, that Love and Monsters was so good, it inspired vlogging. And there's where you got real
There it is.
confused playing guess the image from the screenshot.
Oh, they got 3 frames, and whoever made that
yeah.
Hoodle went,
They
I know what I'm
got
gonna pick.
exactly as much as free use would have let them.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of Clive. Are they more yellow than they were in the actual episode?
It looks like it.
Imagine throwing away the Auton costumes because you don't need them, and then a season later needing them again and not having the budget to make them properly. I mean, one thing you're not going to get with our commentary is I like how I always get really just engrossed, gripped in his narration, even though it's like just some guy. And I don't know why, but it's one of the reasons I really like this episode.
I'm trying to listen to his like voice. He's got almost a hint of like Matt Smith in him. Like if he tried to, I feel like he could do an impression.
Yeah, but Matt Smith's a bad example because of the guy Big Finish gets. Is just always a bad comparison.
In comparison to that.
But that was Matt Smith right there.
Right?
That's like
there's those moments.
That's Big Finish Matt Smith right there. You're absolutely right. Like, you can tell it's an impression, but
yeah.
When Matt Smith dies, we'll get this guy in. He really is great casting for like some random guy. But he can carry an episode. That's right. You get Jackie. You people love Jackie. How is this not the best episode? That's an awful place for a wedding photo. In like a hidden corner nook. Did you see that?
No.
In the top left is like a hidden wedding photo. That's a nice room.
Yeah, I was trying to pick it apart.
See? Love and Monsters was so good, it inspired Guardians of the Galaxy.
This was really a trendsetter for all of our modern media.
Groot was doing exactly that.
I'm
sure it's not from like a music video or something. It was from this.
Yep.
Come on, it's got a beautiful day. Isn't this the best Doctor Who episode? You can't see it, but I'm also dancing. And apparently you can play more of that song than you can Elton John.
He moved further into his room in his vlog setup.
I love that too, is that his computer just explodes because he was Googling the Doctor. Why not? In this episode, it's good. I would have given them 10,000 points. Yeah, I give points. If it was the, like, press reveal photo for the 10th Doctor, you know?
How separated is this episode from Harry Potter?
Harry Potter. Oh, well, they were still making the movies. I think it's 2005. Actually, she was probably in Harry Potter first. Chamber of Secrets was like the 90s?
I have no clue.
It was 2002, the movie. Yeah. So was David Tennant in Harry Potter before? He might have been. Actually, he almost certainly was, because I don't think he would have gotten David Tennant to play such, like, that minor role in Harry Potter if he was the Doctor. She's definitely dead.
I like the beer shelf. That's really a great thing to have in your room. Whoa, I remember this group of people. It's all coming back to me.
It's just hit you.
It's all coming back to me. Their gatherings.
Here's the... I forgot about these. Oh, do we get a photo? Oh no, they're not even the right police box. Brilliant. Okay, that one's probably legit. I love all of these people.
It reminds me of like Iron Man 3. There was a leak photo of the Iron Man suit that someone took from outside of the set, and then in the movie, they put that on the newspaper and got like sued. This feels like.
There's a there's a layer of making fun of certain like Doctor Who fans in this. But I want to appreciate the even art joke of it's what the Doctor represents, what he could represent, and what he doesn't represent. Just like pretentious nonsense. Linda.
He just totally ignored her too, and the women, and he didn't even have anything to say about that.
I mean, half the women in this group end up as concrete slabs, so, you know, that's not a good ratio. Have you, clocked why the summary at the beginning was funny yet?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's the actual summary of the episode. I told you. I think one of the things I like this episode is Russell was always really good at character work. This is nothing but character work. Like, sure, it's a bunch of new people, but even in an episode as silly as this, where your computer explodes because, like, you did a difficult Google, you still got, like, more serious moments that get the weight they deserve.
Yeah, ebbs and flows.
I have this song in my head a lot because this is the greatest Doctor Who episode. I've got the... Wait, is this why Combine Harvester is in my head so much as well? And it's just fun, like, of course, they don't really realize what's happening, but, you know, watching them turn into just people who hang out in a group of friends as opposed to just a Doctor Who meetup. Okay, I'll be honest. I can't spin this into the greatest Doctor Who episode ever.
I don't know, man. They got a musical number.
Okay, never mind. That right there, that's the best thing that's ever happened in Doctor Who. That's the next companion. Actually, I feel like I'd love Shooty Gadwa to just get, like, a boring, middle-aged white man, just for the contrast, who, like, he's just kind of nice. The only problem is that that's what the 13th Doctor had, so, like, we just had that. Just someone who's a little clueless, but is happy to roll along.
Some dad.
Yeah. But, like, a boring dad.
Who's that in the back?
Who?
Oh, there was a human being to the far left of the screen in the middle. gone now. They zoomed in. Maybe if
No.
they zoom out again.
No,
No, there was
you're
there was
making
a full person in there.
14 minutes. You're making this up. I'm gonna go
I am
back. Okay.
not.
Okay, hang on. I'm
But
gonna
there
make
might
a
be
note.
someone if they zoom out.
14 minutes extra. Okay, look, Doctor Who has some serious production blunders. I don't think that's one of them.
Oh, I cannot wait. By the fire extinguisher, kind of. I keep looking at it
It's
because I think it's a
probably
weird
like a
looking fire
mannequin or
extinguisher.
something.
No.
God, Love and Monsters is a secret horror episode this whole time. It is such a good sound. Rubbing keys on like a piano string is how they did that back in the 60s.
Ah.
Yep.
I hear that now that yeah.
Of course, distorted and modified, but that's the bass sound. Same one as the 60s. You know, I'm trying to remember. I'm sure they probably give a reason. I can't think why he wants the Doctor, this guy. I don't know if you remember,
It'll be a
but
surprise. I don't recall.
I can't think of a reason.
There's probably one, maybe.
Probably one. There's a common anecdote is that Love and Monsters is a great episode until the monster shows up. But you'll have to help me here, because I can't actually figure out when the monster shows up is supposed to mean. Like, is it when this guy walks in the room? Is it the last 2 minutes? Is it like some point in the middle? I genuinely don't know. And I do think the episode takes a little bit of a step down when this guy walks in, because you lose a lot of that fun element. We still have fun scenes, but you know, you get other parts.
Different atmosphere.
Yeah. And I think the atmosphere is one of the reasons I love this episode. Like, it's important to the plot. This guy comes in and everything gets bleak and dark, but yeah, you know. Not just the plot, sorry, but like the message and the narrative more broadly.
He looks a lot like Colonel Sanders.
But like evil business Sanders. He really is.
Do you think he purchased all those ominous old books and desks and
I was
hourglasses?
just about to say, I actually know what a lot of those books are because my uncle owns them. It's a set of like fancy books for sets. But that's a comical amount of books that they're pouring over, you know? Like those maps.
Do you think he like ordered them to haul all of it down there for him?
And like, what is it Bridget doing with 2 clearly volumes of an encyclopedia?
3 Earth globes behind him. Bit excessive.
No, she's a good actress. I usually see her as moaning, you know, to use
Yeah.
a word. But I was like, oh, wow. Wow, that took a while to click with you, didn't it? Okay, now it's going to get good again. Now we're going to get fun. What the hell is that
Maybe that's
head?
4 globes.
That head in the back.
Weird items.
It looks like a clockwork robot, but they put LEDs in it so you can't recognize it's a clockwork robot. Hey! We're still getting Bad Wolf references.
Is this...
It is a fun detail, though, that evidently Rose as Bad Wolf, like, purged information of herself and a family from the database, which is nice. It makes sense. Oh, here's a fun bit. Great line. I need to remember that for when I feel like being an asshole. Brilliant. Best episode
Yeah.
of Doctor Who ever.
That was pretty good.
Literally everything you could possibly want to know about. It's like, because it's that first Scooby-Doo scene. Yes, it's ridiculous, but it sets your expectations and the tone so you
Yeah.
can just do this, you know?
Yeah,
If
that
you
was good.
remove that scene, the episode's much worse. And then he just finds them. I've also been paying attention more to a lot of the background and random cast in London. In 2006, it's actually like pretty decently diverse. Kind of what I've seen from major cities I've been to. You don't really have anyone who looks like what you would normally get for like LGBT representation or trans representation. But I'm also not sure if you would have had a lot of people who have had like dyed hair or like
Yeah.
or like 15th Doctor outfits back in 2006. So, oh god, I forgot about this scene too.
Yeah, this is funny too.
I don't know. I just love this normal day stuff. I also love the implication that Jackie is like a master flirt. Like you get it in her character too when the Ninth Doctor shows up, remember? And she's like, I'm in the dressing gown and there's a strange man in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Can Elton come fix the moisture in my walls?
You gotta go to the laundromat.
I gotta
Search for him.
flash in my
Find that
knickers.
one man in 10 million.
10 million. Go to London. Oh, that's Elton. He lives in...
I don't
He's
recall the
cleaned
last
up a bit.
time. Yeah, I don't know the last
He's in
time we were
Chinese.
inside the house.
Christmas. I'm probably like...
Hmm.
Unless she came home at the end of an episode. Does this mean that Rose was the problem? That Rose made a massive mess? Or are we supposed to read that Jackie's like just doesn't know what to do with herself, so she cleans?
So she's freaking out, cleaning everything, developed OCD.
The reality is the second, and it's kind of sad, and you know, it really makes you feel for Jackie. The first is funny, so I'm gonna go with that.
That sounds like a good plan.
And you do get to see some competence in Jackie, like hiding, you know, the nature of the Doctor and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This episode does wonders for Jackie. Like, she's a great character even without this episode, but I think this really cemented her as a fan favorite. He does have like 3 globes behind him.
Yeah. There's another one
they're
like
from-
directly behind him.
Maybe they're from different times, you know?
Okay, I suppose that could be valid.
I'm also looking. There's no way there's like a mannequin or an extra person.
Oh, human being.
Although-
Oh, look, there's one in the back and one right under. It's four.
The thing is though, after you've said it, every time I watch this episode, I feel like there's a weird moment in that scene where I'm like, were there an extra one? Were there more of them? How long till we abandon the time sink and just act like, actually, I'm going to rewind. Everybody rewind.
Yes, he's just a group of pals.
I think a guy like this would be hilarious as a companion next to like the fabulously flamboyant 15. You know?
Normal man.
People would complain because it's like the most generic straight white man ever, and I would also complain, but like 1 or 2 episodes, you know? Maybe it's like the 3rd companion or the 2nd companion. Huh, yeah, strange. I mean, I've got some broken fuses, though. Could Elton come and fix them, but, like, permanently?
There's a lot of, like, unusual shots of this set, given that they're sticking him in lots of corners, and I'm liking seeing these angles of, like, living rooms that didn't exist.
Yeah. I mean, it's really like a full set is what we're learning. Not a set,
Yeah.
like a full room.
Yeah.
Unless they'd purpose-built this section. Steve agrees with me. Generic white man would have made a fun spare wheel companion. You kind of get one in Harry with the Fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane, who's just kind of like a generally kind of clueless guy, but he's rolling with the punches, you know? Ooh, we still here? Discord freaked out.
I'm here.
Cool. You freaked me out by not answering for a second or two. Whoops, dude. Oh, I remember that being way more aggressive. Like, firm, you know? I imagine an outtake where she just pours it on his head. You know? Oh, there we go. Yeah. There we go. Oh my gosh, Steve, exactly like Harry and Mickey. Just like 3 or 4. Like Harry, Mickey, Nardole, and Graham. Like the most generic roll with the punches guys. But 15, like a huge personality.
New 15 companions parent. Just some guy.
That was Graham. He's honestly, I'm not gonna say great, but like he's really good at being what he is. He's great at what he is, which is some random, charming, funny guy. What? Puppers are whining. Oh boy. It's a weird backing track, though, for this scene. If I knew Spanish, this would also be in my head. I assume it's Spanish.
He's got to put on a gross purple shirt now.
Yeah. No, he's just going to go home like that. It's London. You know. So yeah, I like this middle bit of the episode with Jackie where when you're shirtless. It's not the fun attitude, but just seeing like the two guys. Two people. Maybe I should just watch like soap operas, because that's what they are. Maybe I'd like them. You know, if things had gone slightly different, I always think it's weird to be like, Elton could have been Rose's dad. That would have been a twist. You know, he's a cool guy. I'm just now thinking, actually, he looks a lot younger than Jackie, but I don't know how young he is.
He does seem young.
I don't know, at a certain point, the age gap really
matter.
If he's like 27, you know, it's like, that's fine.
That shirt is way too fine after being...
He said he was going to go get a new shirt. Oh. Are you saying that Jackie couldn't have just had a new shirt and not told Elton? Because that checks.
Yeah, no, same color, same size. Suspicious.
Yep. Every time this song plays, I'm dancing a bit in my chair, and you can't see it, but I want to be aware. Oh, that's not the face you want to see. Elton, you got pepperoni and anchovies. How could you? Okay, he's like me. He never takes old stuff out of his pockets. No, it's a photograph of the TARDIS. Was the TARDIS in the picture? Yeah, you get this good bit, because Russell's big thing was like, you know, looking at the family life after the companions leave. And yeah, way to go, Jackie. This is why you get audio dramas. I'm not the biggest, like, as big a Jackie fan as a lot of other people, but she's a real highlight in this season. I'd say in this episode in particular. This episode specifically, I think I really am a big fan of Jackie. It's not like she doesn't work elsewhere. I'm just not... I don't enjoy watching that type of character as much. I love the electrical hum in the background of this scene. That's just oppressively loud.
There's another globe directly behind him that's peeking out at this camera
he
angle.
is a time traveler.
He's got
to
to
weird globes too.
Keep track of every era.
It's like with Tom Baker's long scarf. They gave the lady someone had no idea how much knitting you needed for a scarf, so he bought like way too much. He gave it to a lady named Baconia Pope, who didn't understand the instructions and just used all of it. And then that guy came back with Tom, and everyone just went, "Yes, this is the scarf." But it's like that. It's someone came by with all the globes, and someone didn't understand. And went, yeah. All right.
I think, yeah, thus far, from the start of the episode to now, I mean, I think they've done pretty good. They've managed to find their way into, like, all the different emotional tones and beats, and it hasn't been jarring.
You're peaking a little bit. I think you've moved closer to your mic.
Yeah, I was moving my setup.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm not as big a fan of like the dark, gloomy settings, but they're, you need them.
Yeah.
I think he does have 6 globes. I
6
can't
globes
remember if
and
Mark Warren had already
mystery
been on The Hustle before he was Elton, so there's the guy that plays him. But remember seeing Hustle and Dracula and wrestling the rage he had, realizing the range. So he could do an 11th Doctor on Big Finish if he wanted. But I watch Doctor Who and Star Trek, so the fact that I've seen Moaning Myrtle there and something else is astonishing, I mean, I used to be a big Harry Potter fan, but that's because I was a child in the early 2000s. Everyone
Yeah, that'll
was.
do it.
And I used to be because I'm no longer in the early 2000s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 6? Dang it. So the Absorbaloff here, pretty well known, but he was designed by a child as part of like a competition, charity competition, to design a Doctor Who monster. Apparently he was supposed to be massive, but I don't know. A lot of people hate him, and I really don't understand why. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, I like it. It works. It's fine. He's great for the tone of the episode. How could you hate that? You love Syl, but you hate this guy?
Oh, that's so much licking.
You hate Syl, but, He's wearing a loincloth, which I never realized either. It's a really well-realized costume, too.
Yeah. The effect... The early Doctor Who, I love all the practical costumes and effects.
Is this where people say the episode stops being good? Because now it's a real monster. Okay, that cut wasn't as well realized. But... I think people just don't like fun. These are people who despise space babies in the Slovene episode. It's actually really hard to figure out what the kid who designed this feels about the Absorbaloff, because he's been interviewed a lot and has given kind of conflicting responses. But it seems to be at least generally positive.
That's good.
Maybe a bit confused about why he's so small. Because he's supposed to be like a 2-story building or something.
Did he just say why he wanted the doctor, or just that he really wanted the doctor?
Damn.
I think it was just
We'll
that
have
he
to-
really wanted the doctor.
We'll have to look up the script. You know, maybe he's also just a fan.
Well, that could be.
Doctor Who Absorbaloff. Do you think this also happens between members of this guy's species? Because I just want to know the world.
Every time they shake hands.
I want a Love and Monsters sequel that takes place entirely on this guy's planet. I know the name of the planet, but it's a joke, so I'm not going to go there yet. Why did he want the doctor? Wait a minute. Does he... He's got, like, a whole sequel. 2 years following the Absorbaloff's untimely death, his father sought revenge against the 10th Doctor, using the Krakenord to kill him.
Oh, what?
The Krakenord turned against him, however, killing him on the spot with its acid blaster. What the heck?
That sounds like a dream.
Is this like a 70s comic? It's a webcast. Oh my gosh, you get to see the Absorbaloff in the Timeless Children? Dang. Okay, using Linda.
I like that it kept her glasses.
This is a weirdly detailed episode. It goes over his, like, personal items. Like, he owned a laptop, a briefcase that were branded VK. Okay.
Yeah, see, now this sequence, this lived in my brain.
He planned to absorb the Doctor's memories and knowledge. That's what it was.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Look at that guy. Could you imagine that guy with the Doctor's memories and knowledge?
Face.
Oh my god, what have I done to my time bar?
Oh, it's big.
Oh no. I don't know how to undo that. Oh, phew. I don't know. I think it's a really good monster. I'll say it.
I think the execution was really good.
I mean, I'm not gonna say like it's the new Daleks, but I don't really get what's wrong with it, you know?
I just think, like, yeah, it was probably an idea made by a child.
I mean, sure, but he works for the episode they're in, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I don't know if the child did the personality or anything like that either. Like, that's probably too much control, because you'd have to basically build the episode around the monster. Ah, yes, that's Rose Tyler. I also like this implies that Rose does pop home every now and then. You know, and like Jackie told her about this.
Called.
That's racist.
Slovene?
Yeah.
I thought there was a V in there.
Slovene.
Yeah. Slovene.
I will say this again and again. No one has been better at naming planets than Russell T Davies. Because you get Clom, it's funny, just a name, but I will never forget Rapsicor... Wow, of course, fumble it up then. Raxacoricophalopatorius. Like, I could have told you that before we started these watch-alongs. To the point I don't believe it when Rose has trouble remembering and saying the name. All right. Again, with the whole parallel universes, there's a world where the Doctor did, and then the show ended.
He's like, I'll make that deal, and shakes his hand.
And there's also a world where he does that, and everyone praises like an ultimate sacrifice and fitting end for the hero. I guess it is a bit weird that, like, in the whole history of this guy's species, evidently no one has ever thought to do this. That is a little, I'll give you that. But, you know, even Heaven Sent is full of logical flaws. Absolutely full of it, so, you know. Lender United! I wonder, actually, is it technological then? Maybe it's not inherent to this guy's species. Otherwise, maybe like the cane evolved and then the guy evolved from it. Oh, there you go. I want a sequel where like some sewer rat absorbed all the knowledge of this guy and became like an intelligent rat person. Elton. So this is the part. Okay, when I hear critiques of Love and Monsters, I always get real upset because everyone will tell you that like it's an awful episode and they'll specifically cite this ending coming up. I've never seen them cite literally anything else about the episode other than the Scooby-Doo chase scene. So I can only assume if you cut that scene, everyone would love the episode. I'm like, is one joke really so bad that it would ruin an entire episode for you? Oh, see, you still get these serious moments, though, and like... Yeah. God, could you imagine watching this episode back in the day and being like, what the hell do I think about this episode? I don't know.
That
Honestly,
scarf.
you could get an episode out of that. Wait, we did! It's Sebastian Dorada.
There's a scarf on the coat rack at the bottom of the stairs that he still has in his bedroom.
Russell is a big fan of this, like, fantasy monstery-esque things, which it's very touch and go whether I like it or not. Also, really weird you wouldn't remember that fact. Is that just me? Okay, I guess there are some things that could cause this episode to fall apart at the end, but it is still the greatest episode of Doctor Who ever made. Look, you want me to go poke holes in Heaven Sent? I'll do it. The whole plot's absolutely nonsensical, yet it's still the second greatest episode ever made, because of course there's this one, the greatest episode. Hey, there's that scarf. Wait, is that a Tom Baker scarf? Russell.
Different scarf. Two scarves now.
That's a Tom Baker-inspired scarf, clearly. I choose to believe that's how Elton remembered his mom's death. She just walked away in a field one day. Oh, Net 1.0. I swear his room gets redecorated like every time, though. Hey, it's one of those butt mirrors we were talking about.
I want him to end it with... So if you could leave a like and subscribe...
Well, he would have been uploading it to like a dating site back in 2000. Well, actually, this episode takes place in 2007, but still.
So check out my
There's
profile.
Not Minecraft yet, so YouTube's not big. That's how.
Oh, dang.
Right? Yeah, before I'm pretty sure Minecraft was 09.
I don't know.
So don't engage on r/Doctor Who. Well, actually, no, you can do that, but don't engage on r/Gallifrey, the, like, you know, where the real nerdy stuff happens. Oh, I know. And that's the end of the episode.
This feels familiar.
Yeah, you remembered what happened to her. Oh, did you not remember the blowjob joke?
I didn't.
That's the thing everyone hates about this episode?
Nope.
Ask someone why they hate Love and Monsters. Like, okay, to be fair, if you don't like this episode, I fully believe that there are probably other reasons you don't like the episode, but I've never heard any of them. Like, they only talk about this thing.
Yep. Yeah,
I do admit, this isn't really treated as, like, the horror that it is, but I agree, it could be worse. That is a little... I take her to the cinema. There you go. That's those two lines right there. Cut it, and everyone would love this episode. Also, I'm not even sure if it is a blowjob joke, because they could just mean, like, they kiss, or, like, they have a love life that's entirely non-physical, you know? Just saying.
He could mean that. If only.
I wonder if anyone's confirmed what the intent behind that is, you know?
I don't want to
I got a concrete slab. They should have just cut the line where she never ages. Like, why would you do that? What happens after Elton goes? Like, I don't know. As I said, greatest episode of Doctor Who ever made is quite the exaggeration, but it's still a real good episode.
That actually was far better than I remembered it.
Now, if you're the average person, the one after this that you can see on the screen in the preview now is Fear Her. The latest missing episode of Doctor Who. I don't know. I don't know if they've uploaded a dubbed version. I'm going to talk about that after this thought. That's the weakest episode. So it was a real bad stretch. You know, for the general audience, like this two-parter right here, Love and Monsters and Fear Her, is a lot of why season 2 is the weak one. Oh shoot, we are going to check that extra person. But before people pop off, I want to point out, especially if you're watching live, a while ago, the BBC took Fear Her, the next episode, off of iPlayer, which, thinking about it, is probably the British version, so you couldn't use it to watch these streams anyway. But maybe they have playback controls. The news announcer in that episode is a real person, which you probably knew if you were in the UK, like huge news person. It was the guy they used to announce that the Queen had died, that like loads of major events had happened. Like he was the news voice. And he's not a good person, it turns out. I literally don't know anything about it. I'm American. Like, I know about this because of Fear Her. So they pulled the episode from iPlayer, and they were going to redub it, like, his lines, because he never appears. He's the voice on the telly. And so that might not actually exist at the moment. Internationally, it's everywhere else. You should be able to stream it. As far as I know, it's just a BBC thing. But this is the point where I tell you that the complete David Tennant collection, which features all of the 10th Doctor stuff, including his Sarah Jane Adventures appearance and several animated things, ignoring the 14th, it really is the complete collection, has always been like 20-something bucks and on sale every time I've looked at it. It is an absurd deal. It is like less than the cost of the 9th Doctor, which let that one sink in. I think it's even less than the cost of the 9th Doctor on DVD half the time because of sales, which, oof, it's a Blu-ray. This is what we use to watch them. You get all the extra shorts. You get Time Crash with Peter Davison. Yeah, looking forward to that one. There's a Linda reference. You get a lot of the other shorts and many things. It's a fantastic deal. And you could watch Fear Her, even with the original. If you got that. Hey, you could get 2-day shipping and even get it in time for next week, you know? But yeah, shoot, I just closed the episode.
Muscle memory.
Let's address.
I am so happy I get to.
Well, I'll find, because every time I'm like, wait, was there another person in that shot?
I mean,
how do you, okay, so before we reveal it, if there's another person, or even like an extra mannequin, or anything changing between the shot, that would mean that, like, between takes, I guess, somebody added or removed a set piece. No one questioned, or even like a guy was there during
I think
filming.
The whole person while filming was there for some reason.
Some crew member had to get in the shot, like when everyone was there. No one noticed. They filmed the scene. At some point, they realized the guy was there, presumably. And then in the editing, no one realized. Like this is so much worse than the bottom third of the green screen in Black.
I'm telling you, it's beautiful.
Okay.
You're gonna love it.
Let's go. I'm just gonna let it play till we hit it.
I don't know if you know the fire extinguisher there in the background.
Yeah. So totally, I was looking at that with Kennedy, right?
Yeah, it just felt really long.
I will unblur the episode when we hit the frame if there is anything.
There's a really thick fire extinguisher to the right. That's odd.
There is. That's not. You have different types of fire extinguishers. I didn't comment on that.
Yeah, I was just feeling it.
It was in the back of my mind if we ever hit a section of dead air in this room.
So excited.
This outlet on the supporting wood beam is an oddity. but and the one on the other supporting. Oh wait, no,
It's
you can
such a
see the
weird
people.
space
Okay.
where they're going to be because you can't see as much of it as you can in this shot right now. But there's like
Yeah, they've got
nothing
loads
back
of
there.
donuts. Well, I think it's like an abandoned under a shop or something. He said. I'm just gonna mute it. Okay, here we are. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, like all by the band.
Beautiful.
Oh, there is. I knew it. There's like just some creepy woman. Okay, hang on. Let me. God, that's terrifying. And every time I watch it, I'm like, hang on, was there something there? So I guess that's like a state, but she's totally still.
I think she's
oh my gosh,
in
where's the episode?
motion while playing.
Wait,
It's gotta be
episode
someone in the crew.
monitor, episode filters, blur. There we go. There's a creepy ass woman right down here. This is 14:15. It's weird that you wouldn't notice that in the editing, because every time I've gone, hang on, was there something? But you never want to go back and check. When you're editing, presumably they also went, hang on, is there something? Maybe they just didn't have another take. Well, no, they did, because she's not there. And look, she's still... No, she blinked. She's moving.
She's moving, yeah.
That's in shot.
That's just some crew member.
All the other takes must have been bad. Like, they did that scene. They went, hey, cut! Get Linda, get out of the way. I wonder why that's the one in my head. And then she did, and then they just flood the line and I guess didn't have another one. It's... Heck, maybe, how do we know it's a cut? Maybe, like, the lights just turned on. Maybe the shopkeeper upstairs heard the noise and was like, what's going on down here?
What's this?
It's like, oh, it's those Linda folks again, just those weird kids. Fully grown adults. Oh my gosh, she's been assassinated again.
Keep dropping my coaster.
You know what the worst part about the 3-week break is? You did it before Fear Her, or Love and Monsters, and not Fear Her, where all the jokes would have been even better. Because, hey, teasers, this is where you come for the weird hot takes. My Doctor Who Doctor ranking video, if you want bizarre hot takes. But Fear Her is, like, near universally hated. I don't really get it. It's not a strong episode. Don't get me wrong. But it's fine. It's a perfectly fine episode. It's probably better than, like, Tooth and Claw. I don't like, the werewolf one, which is also kind of really meh. It's like, it's a bit weird, there's some stuff that doesn't work. It's not a good episode, but it's a good episode, It's like
I'm excited for it. I don't think I remember it. Yeah.
The worst part about Fear Her, no, that's banter for next time. The worst part, I'll tease it. The worst part about Fear Her is Matt Smith. Yeah.
Whoa.
That sounds, now that I've said it, that sounds clickbaity as hell. Matt Smith isn't in this episode. But yeah, the worst thing about Fear Her is Matt Smith. There you go.
Huh.
But unless you have any thoughts, I can probably wrap it up. I think we're good for a while. Oh, no, actually, next week, because you don't want to miss Fear Her, is American Daylight Savings Time. Is it also for you? I assume
I have
Florida.
no idea.
Florida will do daylight savings time. But it's fall back, so the stream will be an hour earlier, unless you also have daylight savings. Google Seattle time now, LA time now, just figure it out. But for us, the Sunday stream, Star Trek will be normal, but the Sunday Doctor Who stream will be an hour earlier than it is now. So unless your clocks are also changing, the stream will be 1 hour earlier. So actually you could miss it in that case. Maybe we'll just ramble for an hour. We'll play Doctor Who live for an hour, and just skip most of them. It's like, oh, I know that one. I wonder if we should even just start streaming those bits. But then the problem is people come and go, this isn't a watch along.
What is this?
This isn't a watch along. Yeah. But other than that, I think we're good. Oh my gosh, there's only 2 more streams. Yeah, there's only 2 more streams till season 3. I really need to get Alex that thumbnail information. And because of these delays now, the Christmas break for the Christmas special, where we'll stop doing season 3 for a week to do the Christmas special, you've made that at just a really random point.
Yeah, I
I don't.
have.
It used to be right before like the final 3 episodes. It was
Mhm.
so we didn't break that up. Yeah, it used to be between like Blink and Utopia, or before Blink. Now I think it's between like the New York Dalek episode and Lazarus Experiment. Just some like two kind of duds. You've moved it to some random point. So well done. There's now no
Thank
worry.
you. Thank you.
I guess if you miss one more week, we'd break up the Dalek parter. I don't know. We'll see. That one's got Spider-Man in it.
What? Spider-Man?
Uh, Andrew Garfield is in an episode of Doctor Who before he became real big, and he's in a
Oh,
New York Dalek episode.
that's exciting. I love Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, well, there you go. You got something to look for.
All right. Yeah.
You were looking forward to Daleks in Manhattan.
I
That's a
am.
great thought. That's an episode that a lot of people hate that I don't. But hey, that's just what I do. Is there an episode
It is.
people hate that I also hate? Yeah, Kill the Moon, the Forest one, the Sleep Tape one.
You got a couple.
They're all 12th Doctor. Oh, and 13. Like, basically anything ever in the 13 era, pretty much, with like 2 or 3 exceptions. Are episodes people hate, and I don't. What's the one I don't hate? It's the cancer one.
What?
I don't like the cancer scene. I like it better than most people, but it's the good one. Can You Hear Me is one I really liked. I was gonna give up on the 13th Doctor's era, and I was a long break between, and I gave it one more episode, and it was Can You Hear Me? I was like, wow, that was actually really good. I haven't rewatched it, so I think it was probably like comparatively great. Did Chibnall write that one? Probably not, because it was good. Chibnall didn't write any of the good ones. God, I gotta verify that. Doctor Who, Can You Hear Me? Wait, is that the wrong one? No, it's Can You Hear Me? Written by Chris Chibnall and someone else. That's why it was good, as someone else was on it. This sounds like a joke dish, but actually you could tell back in the day when they would announce the writers for the episode how many episodes were going to be good and how many would be meh.
That's so
The bad
funny.
ones were written by Chibnall. The kind of meh ones were written by Chibnall and someone else. Sometimes they could be bad too. You know, it really depends on the other one. And it's funny because you get some like Village of the Angels, which is really good, except every now and then we take a break for the overarching series stuff, and it's full of like Chris Chibnallisms, and you're like, yeah, all the good bits was Maxine Alderston, aren't they? And then the ones that are written by someone else, I mean, they can also be hit and miss, because like not every writer who isn't Chris Chibnall is good, but it's like, oh, that one might be good. That's how you do it. So yeah, we ended dissing Chibnall. Yay. I said
Sounds
I wouldn't
about
really
right.
do that. To be fair, I said I wouldn't really do that, and I haven't done it too much. But
Well,
only really when it comes up, except that case, ignore it. I gotta
Only
get it
that.
out before we actually get to 13.
that's fair. Yeah, otherwise
Yeah,
it might be explosive.
that's fair. I'm a very good person in my Doctor Who rankings when it comes to Chris Chibnall. I'm being a very good one.
Right.
Very good. Yep. I wrote The Fugitive Doctor, who was one of those like random one-off doctors who's maybe got like 20 minutes of screen time. And I think it's like a 3 to 5 minute speaking time, the script. I was like, dang, that was supposed to be a quick in and out one. Yeah. I should wrap it up now. I will say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.